and welcome to Newswatch Online TV News Hour. I am N.R.A. The National Revenue Authority is the agency charged with the mandate to generate revenue for the country. To effectively collect revenue, the authority will launch its electronic cash register to generate accurate data for revenue generation. KAMARA report.
National Revenue Authority is the central body responsible for the assessment and collection of revenue to provide for the administration and enforcement of specified laws, to make consequential amendments to certain laws relating to revenue. The authority came into existence in 2002 through an Act of Parliament. For the effective and efficient collection of revenue, the National Revenue Authority will introduce the electronic cash register, which will provide real-time data to the authority. Dr. IBRAHIM S. KAMARA is the Commissioner, Domestic Tax Department.
The electronic cash register is a fiscal device, an electronic fiscal device that will be used to capture data, sales data, and other information for GST purposes. So meaning that it's a device that will be installed in the premises of all registered GST traders, so that they can be relieved from issuing manual receipts. But it is very difficult to monitor. Many times people don't issue the N.R.A receipt because they don't want to declare all their sales to the N.R.A for the payment of GST. So the electronic fiscal device or the cash registers will now be installed in all of those premises, so that it will now replace the manual issuance of receipts, whereby all transactions will be keyed into the system, and automatically they will be relayed basically to the server at the N.R.A, so that at the end of the month we're able to know exactly what has transpired. For those people that are not using, they are not like dealing in goods, maybe services, this device can also have a kind of chip that will be installed in whatever systems they have. So it relays information to us on the real time about what is happening in their businesses. Yeah, in the first place, the machines are going to be have rechargeable batteries, such that when they are fully charged, they will last for about 3 days, 72 hours. So meaning the business people will not have excuse to say there is no light, that's why they're not using the machines. So it's 72-hour charged, and then that will obviously help whenever there are power outages and so on. So those information will obviously be collected. And we are also working, of course, at the national level, government is doing all it could to improve on the supply of electricity. And even now that they are using their own machines, most of them have alternative power supply systems, which they are using to make sure their businesses go on. So apart from those alternative power supply mechanisms they have, the machines are going to have rechargeable batteries to last that long, so that there will be no breakages. And in terms of internet supply or connectivity, we are also working with our key partners like the SALLIEU people to see how we can get direct connection to the fiber to increase the bandwidth. We also intend to work with some service providers like the cell companies and so on, to see how we can always have alternatives. Currently, we are faced with the problem of under-declaration by our taxpayers, meaning that most businesses do not even disclose their complete sales, because GST is based on the turnover, the sales that a business made. 15% of the sales should be GST payable if the taxpayer is dealing in a chargeable supply. So what they normally do is that they just handpick certain transactions which they will put on their GST returns monthly. They will fail to disclose the entire transaction in order to reduce their tax. Okay, the government of SALLIEU is fully funding this project. It costs the government about 42 billion leones. That's about $4.2 million. As I'm speaking now, we have made the first payment, the first installment, and the second installment will be paid in the next few days again. So government of SALLIEU through the Minister of Finance is very committed to this. This is one of the projects which we own as SALLIEUians. Most of the reforms that are going on at the N.R.A, like the integrated tax administration systems, that's SCUDA World and some of them, they are mostly financed by by our development partners, like the World Bank and other EDB and the rest. But this project is fully sponsored by the government of SALLIEU, and the only support we are getting from ADB as part of this project is the aspect of the educational side. So there's about we are piloting it in the hospitality sector, meaning all hotels, guest houses, restaurants, pubs, bars, are going to be the first target group. Airlines also be there, airline agencies, people that are there in this recreational, socializing thing, hospitalities generally. And we have very close to 500 cases that will do a 3-month piloting with. So when the piloting is completed, or when even it is ongoing, we'll now target the rest of mankind, because the GST register contains about 2,500 taxpayers. So if we are talking about first 500 in the pilot phase, we still have about 2,000 this system will be rolled out to. So we even have organizations like the telecoms companies, the banks, the insurance companies, all of those other businesses that are GST chargeable. Mind the GST taxpayers are those people that are making turnover or sales that is above 350 million per month. Below 350 million is an SME, a small or micro enterprise, and those ones may not be covered now on this project.
It's the introduction of the electronic cash register to eliminate human manipulation, reduce corruption, and to provide real-time data for effective revenue generation. What are the views of the ordinary Sierra Leonean?
The things we need, especially in SALLIEU, because when you say tackle corruption, one of it's here, anything in digital form, so that when this can directly go to N.R.A directly, there's no agent between you and the businessman. Is good. There's no way for them to manipulate things. For say this are supposed to run after. No, you go direct as soon as you put the data, you don't go direct at the system. It's good for that. If you come with that system there, wow, it's good. Because Africa today is like Sierra Leone, so we get on digital issue. Because ultimately we digitalize everything for them a system.
What's not for make we country go before let things find our country, because things not easy. Government in one going to scatter and together for work na the country. But now they bring income for make the country go before. Make for me I'm happy for them.
I think it's a good system, considering the fact that people like to cheat. But because we don't go buy and then shop them, or also open at the hotel and also in the not to government. So this electronics, I feel like it will be a good system where they will monitor and people that will be a little bit, I think, honest.
That was the view of some Sierra Leoneans who expressed great enthusiasm in anticipation that the system will greatly help in the generation of revenue, reduce human error, and minimize corruption. Newswatch TV Online, KAMARA.
The head teacher of the Milton Magai School for the Blind, SALLIEU TURAY, speaks on the impact of COVID-19 to them as blind people.
You will realize the schools will be unlocked from March, and now only this October 5, schools will be open now. So we begin to know was for a very, very long time, and they don't get the access for going to the normal schools. Okay. And you know, say, then picking a day, of course, we don't tire now for the house. So when school open, and we're glad for jump back and go. Well, if we take a look at the positive aspects, we will know say the outbreak of COVID-19 also don't renew the attitude of hand washing, because after Ebola, people let me don't forget for a very long time about washing their hands on daily basis, or anytime employed dirty and they have to touch the food stuff. But since COVID-19 came back, we see rejuvenate the hand washing to all man, and now you know go any bank or institution. We know we meet a bucket, we dey promote hand washing and cleaning and hygiene to the Sierra Leone. Just like any responsible institution, since the outbreak of COVID-19, we've been put bucket na do, and we will promote hand washing to all man. So we also see down there as a way of complementing government's efforts to ensure that this sick are not spread. Then we also get thermometers where we test beginning temperature, and it inform we indeed that such begin sick or well. So some of the positive then now then they be able for bring back to society. They are all sabi them compound, they are all sabi buckets they even for fetch water at times now they take the buckets and go fetch water. So they know the environment society they live. And then we will hold you and say if they work out with you and you say with that compound. Well, the message not to the government of Sierra Leone for telling plenty thank you for the effort we put for fight the coronavirus disease in our country so that it will spread. Because if it don't begin spread now, if not to the immediate steps to the government take, by now we will talk of other things. And I want for continue for tell from say Corona Day, and for do all the best for make sure say we push Corona out of Salon.
Slum Advocacy with support for Mercy and Hope International, Leone Star National Team Manager Christian DAUDA, and Sierra Leone Australian-based musician Lil Kenyon have donated school materials to vulnerable children in 3 slum communities in the country. Slum Advocacy is a non-profit making organization that caters for children in the slum communities by trying to give them a feel of the childhood experience that they are not having in their various communities. This organization, while donating some items to the children, our DAUDA founder expressed gratitude to this year's back-to-school donors for their support during these trying times when the globe is under attack by COVID-19, and says they can't take the children from the slum communities this time, but as an advocacy they will continue to advocate for those vulnerable children to make sure they have the lives they deserve.
So I come back today, I can't get them back, and I don't give them textbook. We need them textbook they can use until to class 6. So now notebook, pen, and bag I come with the street for can give them, because now it's tradition and we will continue to give them the childhood experience with them they get out of the community. And this personally also from me it come out from various people. One now Mercy and Hope International, one woman with them called Maria. My so don't let them picking there, so it's so don't ready for support them in the only 2 way we can able. And now it starts with donation we prompt me for them begin ask other people and now let them give for now can get them picking there. We know say it's not easy right now. We know how business slow. We know how things they know normal right now in the country. But then people say they will support them picking them. Then the other person, Leone Star Team Manager Christian DAUDA, were so passionate for help. If picking they're not there, if they're not based in a salon, if not be other people they take us about they only privilege now overseas and don't need self for help them picking them become if picking them then they live a better life. But then picking them we need for help them. We need for give them the childhood experience for they're supposed to get. So I start call them and say I say team, I say I want to help them picking their so with bag and book. The next day it provide them. So I want to tell and thank you. Then the other person back now one musician we based in Australia. Like they're all now prompt to. So like the little way they're able to give, and then give. but I believe say with time and when normal say go can at the country and the world we go see them people and they around, you know. But some of them a place where I get at art, you know. I don't begin do story for this place since 2013-14, and they can't do story. I don't call on authorities them take, but let they can support tonight. If find structure self, they make fun, but still we know they see no effort. So I believe so with them people and now they come while they go and contact so and make if I send this video to them, maybe they will come and see how they will get in there. So it better say for like rain season, school not be the goal.
When receiving the donations, teachers, pupils, and guardians of these various slum communities thank the donors that the founder DAUDA had named for helping them with school materials.
The proprietor don't talk, but we for say we will always continue more for tell and thank you. Let God bless them, continue for guide and protect their family. Let God provide for them more and more. Who said them pull this, let God give them other one back. That's the only thing I need to say.
Because they tell God thank you, and you say since when you don't see, you don't go long way, don't try. You take them to care at different areas, they must not sabi, you be able to enjoy them. Then they talk, you don't talk for long, so you get this place and art, for CC, get a good structure and get a good teaching and learning material. So with this effort we make, not to the first studies. They don't do them, they spend money, get them all the way to the beach, get them in a different area then. So if you count this now, you know say you get more at let God give now, and the one they always don't call on this program, say that they want to support this program, let God give them strength and protect them. Let them will be supported. So I tell you all thank you.
What protect me? I tell now, tell me to thank you.
N.R.A. Bangura, Newswatch Online Television. Let's go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for a place where you will have fresh poultry eggs? Well, your worries are over. Reef Poultry Eggs is here to satisfy you. Visit us at 28 Charlotte Street, Freetown, or call 079-368959. We do wholesale, retail, and home delivery service. Reef Poultry Eggs, your place to be.
Where do you go every time I touch you?
Welcome back. You're still watching Newswatch Online TV News Hour with me, Magai Bangura. As DORWONTONY launches the Organization for the Aged, the Director of Social Welfare at the Ministry of Social Welfare encouraged CSOs to support the older person's home.
The Ministry of Social Welfare is the government ministry charged with the responsibility to create policies that look after the welfare of vulnerable groups such as the older persons. KABIA is the Director of Welfare at the Ministry of Social Welfare.
Of the premium that the Ministry of Social Welfare places on the launch of this aging-focused organization and by extension on issues bordering on the welfare of older persons in this country. Madam Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, suffice it to mention that the Ministry of Social Welfare is the statutory body charged with the responsibility of formulating and rolling out policies and programs on aging in the country. And as a technical lead on those issues, let me preface my remarks by congratulating the management of DORWONTONY Organization for the Aged on the launch of the organization, which to us as a ministry we believe that it will complement the efforts of the ministry in addressing the numerous challenges faced by older persons in this country. The choice of venue for this launch is also commendable, given the indelible experience that our guests will acquire on residential care facility for older persons. So I want to encourage all of us here present to please crisscross the facilities of this place before leaving. It is a truism that the Ministry of Social Welfare, which sets out to provide social services to vulnerable groups, should be the heart and the soul of our country. This is because When social welfare fails, through the way the nation treats its vulnerable categories, then it sends a picture that the nation has either failed or on the verge of failing. As failure is not an option for our country, coming together to address the concerns and needs of older persons is extremely crucial. Madam Chair, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is no gainsaying that older persons have always played a significant role in the development of Sierra Leone. They have done so as leaders, as caretakers, as teachers, as lawyers, as engineers, as doctors, administrators, custodians of tradition. The list is endless. Sadly, they are highly vulnerable, with many falling into poverty, acquiring either one or multiple forms of disabilities, and facing stigma and discrimination, and experiencing a breakdown of the extended family support system.
Speaking for the Society for the Aged, Madam Brenda Ford thanks the founder of the DORWONTONY organization for the laudable effort. She encourages young people to follow in her footsteps.
Before it was in Kisi, and a lot of people know it as quarantine, but we've moved from that quarantine. This is 21st century. If you go around, you can see that these people live a normal life. They are well cared for. Unfortunately, the dormitories are open plan. This just goes to show that there is no respect for the elderly. They need their privacy. You can't just put all of them in an open plan. So we appeal to donors to help us to partition the dormitory. Also, we are faced with several challenges. But we look above those challenges. We have a problem with our well, but we want to thank God that what Doreen has done to rehabilitate that well. Wow, we are really not expecting it. Even before this DORWONTONY was launched, Doreen has been working with us. She's a really impressive young lady. She deserves another round of applause. But it is not about King George. It is about DORWONTONY. And so we wish you all the best. We pray you continue to bring on board so many other young people who will make a change in our society.
The program was climaxed with the presentation of gifts to the founder of the DORWONTONY organization by the Society for the Aged in appreciation of their goodwill. The DORWONTONY organization ended the program by presenting the newly refurbished well and the donation of food and other essential items to the King George VI home. Newswatch TV, KAMARA.
Well, that's all we have in today's episode of Newswatch Online TV News Hour. Please do not forget to subscribe to our News and Current Affairs channel and follow us on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts Newswatch Online TV SL. Thanks for watching. Till next episode, I've been your presenter, N.R.A.